Raising Dion. This is one of my favorite Netflix originals, and since I finally caught note of season 2, I decided to rewatch season 1 and make a video on it. And yes, I made a poll in my Discord server, and you guys voted for something else, but good series. Just a little disclaimer, this video will contain heavy spoilers for the show up to the beginning of the season 2, so I would recommend watching the series first, then come back to this. Alright, enjoy. Everything I will be talking about will be up on screen now. This show centers around this mom and her child, Dion. A meteor shower known as the Aurora event caused a bunch of people to contract super AIDS, and the father, played by Michael B. Jordan, passes on the super AIDS to Dion. And this show's plot is honestly one of its best features. There are so many parts where you think that a character is a good person, then boom, massive plot twist. More on this later. What's more is there are very few plot holes. Any plot holes that exist are easily explained, such as Mark Warren, the father, being able to teleport but not using that to his advantage when it comes to saving Charlotte, or Pat being a really bad liar. This show does so many things right when it comes to the plot, and it also has very good continuity, like Pat foreshadowing his disease by scratching his back a lot, or having his migraines. Even small decisions or mistakes that characters make help advance the plot, like Nicole leaving out an extra play belonging to Charlotte, which leads to Pat letting his bad side out, which revealed all of his cockiness and his insecurities. But the plot is enforced by two things, which I'll be talking about now. For what the show had to work with, they pulled off some incredible CGI. While it did have its moments of being pretty questionable, for the most part, the CGI looked incredible. Like scenes that involved the Crooked Man looked honestly pretty insane. The CGI used for the people in the storm looked incredible. The fact that they were able to blend the CGI for the storm so well is just astonishing to me. Because considering that Supergirl and The Flash both had higher budgets than the show, but the CGI was so much worse in both of them compared to Raising Dion. It's one of the best aspects about this show, because they can make something that might not be the best and turn it into something astounding, much like the characters in the show. The characters in this show are amazing. One of the most interesting parts about this show is that every single character feels like they are their own person. Like, the scriptwriters and actors put genuine effort to make the characters seem as real as possible. And that's pretty hard to accomplish, especially when you're dealing with actors under the age of 10. Yet they still manage to accomplish this feat and make every character three-dimensional. Dion wants to be a superhero and trains hard in order to accomplish that, and is even able to inspire Charlotte to stop being a scared asshole and start helping people. Even some of the characters that aren't present that often in the series still feel like they have goals even when they barely have any dialogue. You can tell what this blonde guy is thinking when he's looking at Pat and Dion. While there are some annoying characters like Nicole, she still has good character traits, even if she never shuts the fuck. Now let's talk about my favorite character in this show. Pat. You know how much I love characters who are into comic books and have Stranger Things set as their ringtone? Well, yeah, that's Pat for you. Pat is arguably one of the most complex characters in season 1. Some of the most comedic parts of the show come from Pat being hilarious to watch, and he's genuinely a really nice guy who cares about Nicole and Dion. He's also a terrible liar who has to really try and keep the fact that Dion and him broke into a restricted lab a secret. At least, it seems like that. Throughout the series, Pat scratches at his shoulder a lot and also gets constant migraines, and his personality slowly starts to get more and more caring until episode 7 when Pat gets rejected after confessing to Nicole. No idea why he even likes her, but like, alright. The next episode he gets rejected once again, and while being an entitled bastard, Nicole tells him not to talk to Dion for a while, which Charlotte tries to enforce, and then the big reveal happens.
I should have killed you in New Orleans.
That's right. Pat was the Crooked Man, and when I first saw this scene, I was honestly kind of shocked. I wasn't expecting it, especially since Pat had been such an honest and good guy throughout the series. Not to mention he was a horrible liar, but apparently he wasn't. And this show does a really great job with the reveal, the music, the storm clouds hovering in. Everything about this scene just fits Pat's arc in the show so well. Another detail about Pat that I liked is that in the beginning he wore mostly white shirts, but throughout the series he started to wear darker shirts until the shirts became entirely black. This represents his personality changing throughout the series. It's honestly a really good detail that also ties back into the continuity of the show. Now I could spend the entire video talking about how I liked Pat's character and how the show is probably one of the best ones I know, but this show has way too many flaws not to make fun of. Despite me making a segment to the flaws in the show, there's barely any, apart from Cheeto CGI. Dion puts literally zero force into this energy blast. The crooked man's torso is longer than Pat's, political statements, and much more. The TLDR version of this is that this show does a lot of things great. It has an amazing story with likable protagonists and antagonists alike, and the actors are extremely talented for being able to bring their characters to life. While there are some so-so moments of the show, I'm sure this will be fixed in season 2. This series is a Netflix exclusive, so if you want to watch it, go there. Again, not sponsored. Just a quick side note, on my Discord server, I asked if I should do like a 60-second opinion on weekends, and yeah, that's gonna happen starting next week because I'm going to Portland this weekend. Wish me luck in the drug city, so yeah, bye.